Good evening and welcome to November 2024 Birds of Essex with me, Matt, and
Hey
this other
Steve,
bloke. Who are you?
how you doing?
Not too bad, Steve. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, bit chilly, isn't it?
Oh, it said, well, you know what? The last few days have it's just suddenly sort of turned and gone a bit cold. So
Yeah,
I was quite pleased that on Thursday my heating finally got fixed.
brilliant.
Mm. So I had sort of got heating, but it
Okay,
was a bit fudged. So now it's properly working. So it's lovely and warm in here now.
good. I've got a heater on here as well, so all is good.
Excellent. Good. So if I start stripping my jumper off later on, you'll know that it's working a bit too well.
Okay, turn it
Okay.
down, mate.
Yeah, I'll wait till after 9 o'clock. Don't worry, that's fine. It'll be
Yeah,
safe.
there is a watershed or a closed shed.
Oh, how are you doing anyway? You okay?
Yeah, good thing, mate. Yeah, not bad at all. Yeah, good.
You've been
Can't
rushing
believe
around,
it.
haven't you? You've been all over the place and
Well, yeah,
holidaying and yeah,
yeah, been a bit busy, but yeah, but
good.
yeah, long time since we did one of these.
It is, yeah, because we did Big County Birdwatch last month, didn't we?
Big County Birdwatch. So yeah,
Hmm.
the last one I think was September, the one
September.
last Birds of Essex. So yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm still getting over it, I think.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you doing all right?
Yeah, absolutely fine. The problem is that time seems to just go so quickly.
Yeah,
Um, you say we haven't done one of these for 2 months. It feels like about a week,
yeah,
literally.
yeah.
And then you forget that you've done the Big County Birdwatch and so many other things happen all the time. So yeah, it's very, very, very quick to pass.
Uh,
Right. So shall we begin? First of all, hang on a minute. Well, are we actually live on YouTube? Let's make sure I press the right button.
I believe we are. I believe
Excellent.
we are. I'm just going to make sure we are because hopefully,
Because we have done this once or twice before, haven't we? Just been talking to ourselves, and then I've realised that the button hasn't been pressed properly. But I think I
no,
have.
we. I think we're live. So
Woohoo! Excellent.
yeah.
Right. So let's do this one first of all. Hopefully, people know by now. But for anyone that hasn't watched this before, this is completely live. If you log into YouTube with your Gmail account, you can ask a question in the chat if you wish to, or just join in with the general chat. Or alternatively, if you don't have a Gmail account, you can email a question or a photograph or something to ebwstalks@gmail.com. So that's ebwstalks@gmail.com. And people can like us as well, can't they, Steve? I think if they want
So
to.
yep. So if you're not a subscriber to our YouTube channel, so if you're watching it, you're obviously watching this on YouTube. There's a little bell in the bottom of the screen somewhere. You just click on that. You're subscribed to our channel. So whenever we've got a new show coming up or anything else on YouTube, you'll be notified about that. And also give us a thumbs up on that. And also we're on social media as well, which perhaps we'll chat about a bit later on
Yes.
as well.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Definitely, definitely. Right, what's coming up? We've got lots tonight. So we've got turtle doves.
yep.
Bit late in November, but we have got turtle doves. We're talking about field trips. We're talking about indoor meetings. We're talking about online meetings. We've got the photo competition, which we'll come to in just a second. There's an optics event coming up in just a few days' time, and we're going to be talking about Randy Sparrows.
Randy, it's not 9 o'clock yet, mate.
And that actually sounds like an American wrestler, doesn't it?
Randy
Randy
Sparrow.
Sparrows. But no. That'll be the second half of the show. We're going to be talking about Randy Sparrows because it'll definitely be on 9 o'clock. Then we'll be safe. Um, so,
um,
other things for people to discuss in the chat if they wish to. Um, where have you been and what have you seen? So share that in the chat if you don't mind. Um, what birding goodies do you want for Christmas, if anything? Or if there are no goodies you want, what birding birds do you want to see over Christmas? Have you got a target species you'd like to see before the end of the year? And have you seen a hawfinch? There's been quite a few hawfinch flying around, I think, allegedly. I haven't seen one, but
allegedly,
yeah,
rumor has it.
yeah, rumor has it.
I think Hawfinch might feature on our county roundup later in the show.
Oh, okay, excellent. Well, if anyone has seen hawfinch on their local patch or garden or wherever, let us know in the chat, please. That'd be great.
Yeah,
Right, so we're going to do photo competition first of all, if I can find
do
it. Here we
that,
go.
and then we'll say hello to everyone that's watching tonight.
Absolutely. Let me just do this quickly first because the photo competition, the final of the Autumn 2024 bird photography competition. Can you see the screen, Steve?
I can. Yep. Lovely.
Excellent. So, voting is still open in the final. Voting closes at 8:15 this evening. So you've got just over half an hour if you want to register your vote. So the easiest way to do this, if you go to our website, ebws.org.uk, on the front page of the website, one of the first stories as you scroll down is going to be this. Click on the picture, and you can then come to this page, and then you can simply click the link here. You've got our four finalists, which are Redback Shrike.
Nice.
That's rather nice, isn't it?
Lovely.
Yeah, I like that. The light on that is gorgeous. Hoopoe, a hoopoe
Oh,
on a roofie, which is again
nice.
stunning sky. I think it's almost like they. I wonder if that was taken on the same day almost. It's beautiful sky, incredible.
That's when we had nice weather. Do you remember that?
Well, yeah, I can't remember that. Um, then we've got Lapwing, which I can't quite fit on my screen there because it's quite a tall photo. But this is a Lapwing coming into land, and look at that reflection.
Nice.
Gorgeous. Yeah, really nice. And then the final picture is sanderling, a low-level shot of a sanderling running along a beach
Another
with all
cracker.
the water glistening behind. So four really good finalists. The voting is quite close at the moment, so if you haven't voted yet, go onto the website, choose your favourite from the four, click just here, and then it goes through to the voting page. You simply choose the one you want to click on, so you could click on Lapwing or Hoopoe or Redback Shrike or Sanderling, of course. Once you've chosen the one you want, you click vote down the bottom. Um, the results at the moment are being kept a secret.
Ooh,
Ooh, no one knows.
only Matt knows.
Only me. Yeah. So if my internet connection goes down in the next half an hour, no one will ever know. There you go.
I'll have to choose.
Yeah, it'll be up to you. Yeah.
I
Steve's vote.
like all of them to be honest. So
Well, to be
everyone's
fair,
a winner. Everyone's a winner in my book.
I was going to say I think the one you really like the most isn't in the final, is it? I don't think, but we're not going to name any names, so
No,
that could be a really shock winner.
exactly. And also I've got a brown envelope with 50 quid here, so
Oh, really?
that
Oh,
that
wow.
will sway it.
Unbelievable. I don't get brown envelopes with 50 quid in. I normally get a brown envelope turn up saying you owe me 50 quid with a little red reminder in it.
Brilliant.
Anyway, right, so that's that. Okay, so first of all, are there anyone to say hello to on the team?
There's lots of people watching tonight. Nearly 50 people watching the show tonight. So thanks to all those who are watching. Because to be fair, as Richard Chews just mentioned, there's normally a lot of old rubbish on Saturday night TV. So he said that we should be much better.
Dancing and stuff.
Dancing, football. I don't know what
Oh,
else is
can't
on.
do football sitting down.
No.
But good. Look, there
So,
you go.
so we've got lots of hellos. We've got Mike O'Hanlon, Pete Dwyer, Graham Me, Nick Warner. Tim Davis is watching from Scotland. Or I bet it's snowy. Oh, it's snowy up in Scotland, isn't it?
Mm.
Paul Everett, Andrew Brown, Paul Daughtry, Tony Pickett, Susan Pembroke, Sean Mulqueen, Brian Cox, Rob M. I think what Nick Lay, Ron Furman. So yeah, good evening to everyone that's watching.
That's like a who's who of Essex birding, isn't it?
It is. Yep.
Wow, excellent. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching. And yeah, we really appreciate it because obviously we're not normally on a Saturday night, so we seriously appreciate you taking the time to watch us. So thanks.
We do. Yep.
Right, before we carry on with the rest of the show, we've got a little bit of sad news. I'm going to pass across to you, Steve, for this.
Yeah, I mean, I know probably some of you have already heard that our senior recorder and good friend Mick Tracy sadly passed away a couple of weeks ago. Bit of a shock, to say the least. Yeah, he did an amazing amount of work for the society. I mean, obviously, we get a lot of records. I think we get over 250,000 records in every year. Mick's been dealing with those for quite a few years now. Massive job. And he was a lovely guy.
Mm.
Just a gentle giant was Mick, you know.
Definitely. I mean, the report obviously goes out every year, and all the data that's in that report was kind of processed initially by Mick. So as Steve said, hundreds of thousands of records. He filtered through, siphoned out anything that wasn't right, siphoned out all the duplications, checked all the locations were correct, all the grid references and everything. So he did an awful lot of work. And he was also a really nice guy, as Steve said. When we had our committee meetings, we'd all be sitting around and seriously discussing something, and Mick too. Then every so often he'd just interject with a comment that would just have everyone in stitches, wouldn't he? His sense of
Yeah,
humour was fantastic. And yeah, he'll definitely be missed by all of us committee members, and also by the birding community in Essex because he was such an important part of it.
yeah,
So yeah, our love and best wishes go out to Mick's wife and family,
absolutely.
and all
Yeah,
his nearest and dearest.
yeah, absolutely, Matt. Yeah, can't say more than that. Really, it's just yeah, another shot.
Yes. Okay, right, moving on. So we've got an extra talk coming up on Monday. Let me just see if I can bring this up quickly. Hold on. Where are we? We've got to talk about. Sorry, I'm not very well prepared here. I thought, you know what? I said beforehand, I thought I'm very well prepared. Everything's ready, which it kind of is, but now I can't remember where I've put it all. Here it is. Okay. So Zoom and share.
Whenever we say we're prepared, it normally goes belly up.
Mm.
So yeah,
So this is a talk. This is an additional talk to the current schedule that's been published on the fixture cards. We have put this onto the website. So if you log onto our website and look at the events, the details of this talk is on there. Um, and this is on wild bird legislation in the UK. It's been given by Howard Jones from the RSPB. This is a talk that Paul Everett, our new indoor talks organizer, has organised, and he'll be running the talk on Monday. So it's Monday evening from 8 o'clock on YouTube. Um, the link is already on our YouTube channel. And I think there's also a piece on our website which has got a link to watch the show as well. And we'll be sending something out via social media tomorrow also. So if you want to watch this show, um, tune in on Monday evening at 8 o'clock via YouTube. And I think it's going to be quite interesting actually.
yeah, it should be
I'm
a
looking
good one.
forward to
That
it.
should
Yeah, it's something a bit different, isn't it?
absolutely. I thought Howard Jones was a pop guy from the 80s
Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe he's doing something else now.
who works for the RSPB now.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. That'd be amazing if it was, wouldn't it?
Oh, do you know what? It'd be superb. You're probably too young to remember Howard Jones.
Well, I do remember. Actually, I'm only a year younger than you, I'll have you know.
I'm giving you a compliment there, mate. That was right. First say Howard who? I've no idea.
Oh yeah, sorry. Should we not try that? Actually, no, don't worry, don't worry. Yeah, so that's on Monday evening, 8 o'clock on YouTube. So go on to YouTube, search for Essex Birdwatching Society, and it's in the upcoming events. It should be the next upcoming event once we finish tonight. And so that's going to be really good. And thanks to Paul for organising it. It's his idea, really good idea, something a bit different,
Yeah.
and hopefully people can tune in and enjoy that talk on Monday evening.
And like you say, it's an important subject. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Absolutely, definitely. We've also got coming up on Tuesday. This is a really packed week, actually, isn't it?
Got a
Very,
busy old week this week, yeah.
yeah, really busy. So we've got this coming up on Tuesday, and this has been organised in conjunction with our friends at Viking Optical in Suffolk, and they have kindly organised Toby Carter, who's a Zeiss representative, to come along to the Old Hall Cafe near Southwold. And this is happening on Tuesday afternoon. So we're all meeting at 2 p.m. and it's running until 7 p.m. Uh, a lot of people have already registered an interest in coming, so I've sent information out by email. But for anyone that wants to come, you can literally just rock up and come along to this. So it's the Old Hall Cafe. It's at Raydon near Southwold, Tuesday the 26th, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're running till 7, and we're going to be looking at the new range of Zeiss binoculars in the afternoon. We're going to go for a walk in the nearby marshland and near to the river, see what birds we can find. Then we're going to come back, have some refreshments, which Viking have very kindly offered to provide. And then we're going out again when it's dark. And in the dark, what do we do in the dark, Steve?
Thermal cameras, mate.
Woohoo!
Thermal imaging cameras. So
Yes,
Zeiss, I've got an amazing range of thermal cameras. So we'll go out. Hopefully we can find, who knows, woodcock, jack snipe,
that'd be nice.
owls,
Oh, you never know.
who knows?
Hmm.
Mammals, great for mammals. They're really good for mammals. So
Yeah.
yeah,
foxes and hedgehogs and badgers and goodness knows what.
I
So,
just know, I just,
or you know what? If there aren't any birds or animals, we'll just look at each other in the dark. That'd be quite funny.
well, do you know what? I do have one of these items of technical, and they're very good for testing people's thermal, whether their coats are very warm or not.
Ah, okay.
You can
You
see
can
what
tell
you can.
me.
They're really good for seeing whose coats let out the heat.
Oh, that's clever. Okay. All
Mm.
right. We'll have to have a look at that. Excellent.
And I
Looking
will
forward to
just
that.
mention this is not our graphic. This was done for us, but there
Yes.
is a. If anyone spots the spelling mistake on there, please.
Oh, hang on. Hang on. I didn't notice. Oh, the lastest.
Yes. So it's not their last binoculars. They're bringing out other ones.
Well, you don't know. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is Ice's final event ever, and we're going to be the last people to try their lastest binoculars. You know what? I hadn't even noticed that. Well done. It's fantastic. And then we've also got, yeah, two other things. So try and do them in order. This one is the Essex Field Club have got an exhibition and social event. It's on the 30th of November, which I think is next Saturday. And it's at Wat Tyler Country Park in the Green Centre, I think is that. It's behind my camera.
That is the Green Centre. Yeah, as Matt says, at Wat Tyler Country Park.
Yeah.
Um,
So the public event, sorry, apologies. Public is from 1 till 4. And they're going to be having all sorts of things there. So you can see down the bottom, Essex Woodcarvers demonstration, archive tours of the Essex Field Club from the Essex Museum of Natural History in Stratford, and so on and so forth. So we're going to be there as well, aren't we?
we're going
Well,
to
not.
be there. I think like the Essex Moth Group normally go.
Yep.
There's I think Bird Aware Essex may will be
Okay.
there.
Cool.
I think. So yeah, it's as Matt says, an annual event, really worth going. Lots of different societies and conservation organisations all in
Yeah.
one room. So
I've got a
that
funny thing. I think Jerry might be manning the stall for the Essex Birdwatching Society next Saturday, and I'm not sure if there might be others going along to help as well. So our stuff will be there. We've got a nice selection of pre-owned books as well that have recently been donated. So might be an opportunity to have a look at those as well. And it's just a nice area, Wat Tyler, isn't it?
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah, good place.
yeah.
So if you're free next Saturday from 1 till 4 in the afternoon, just turn up there. I think it's free to enter. So yeah, just go along and have fun. And then the final thing that's happening, if we're all still awake by then, is on Sunday the 1st of December at Chatham Green, which is near Chelmsford. There's a ringing demonstration. Now this is limited numbers, and I think we've got about one or two spaces left. So if anyone wants to come along to this is going to be David Wilkinson and the South Essex Ringing Group. Um, the location, I'm not sure exactly where. I'm going to send out details by email to all those that want to come along over the next few days. Um, but they've had some good stuff recently. I think they've had some winter thrushes, they've had redpoll, they've had brambling, they've had all sorts of bits and pieces in the net. So if anyone hasn't seen ringing before, it's a good opportunity to get up close and personal and find out what it's all about. And even for those that have, it's always different every time you do it, and it's an opportunity to see these birds in the hand and just to find out a bit more about ringing and why it's done. So if you want to come along to that, if you send us an email to either the ebws talks at gmail.com or info.ebws@gmail.com. All right. And that's it. That's a lot in a week, isn't it, really? Lots of
That's
stuff.
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
Pete Dwyer's just messaging. He's our membership secretary. He'll be joining Jerry at the Green Centre at Wat Tyler um, on
brilliant.
Saturday. And then
Brilliant.
I think so. Nick Warner's just said yes, please book me in. So if you email Matt Nick, then he will book you in and send you the details and all that stuff.
Yes, please. Yeah, send me an email. That'd be great. Right, we've got a quick video to play. So there's a couple of kind of appealy things going on now. And I don't know if I can get this to work. Hang on a minute. Hopefully I can. Here we go. Right. Tell me if you can see kind of a YouTubey screen. Can you see that?
Yes, it can. Yep, good.
Lovely. Right, so I'm just gonna hopefully this will work. I don't know if you'll hear the sound. Can you just give me a thumbs up if you hear the sound, Steve, when I start playing? Hold on. A minute. Can you hear it now?
Mm, very, very quiet.
I don't know if this is going to work then. Hold on 1 second. It might be picking it up from my monitor. So let me just turn the volume up. What I'll do, I'll start again quickly. This is to do with the Middlewick Ranges in Colchester. So for those that don't know, the Middlewick Ranges is owned, the land is owned by the Ministry of Defence. It's home to a huge variety of species, birds, mammals, bats, spiders, moths, plants, uh,
Fungi, really good
fungi,
fungi at the moment.
fungi. And there's basically the MOD are looking to sell the land off for development. People may be aware of this already. It's been in the national news, but there's a very strong local nature group in and around Colchester that have been campaigning for many, many months to try and save this area. It's really important habitat. There's a huge variety of habitat, including acid grasslands. So, it's some unusual habitat for Essex as well. Let me play this video. Hopefully, you might be able to hear it again now. So let me
Matt,
try.
Matt,
Yeah.
Dave Bissett's just messaged in. Is there a subtitle option?
There might be, yeah. Let me see if I can turn that on. Hold on, that's a good
If
idea.
there is, then if the sound doesn't work, then everyone can hear them.
Yeah, let me try again. Hold on.
Middlewick Ranges is one of Essex's really last big biodiverse green spaces. So you couldn't pick a more damaging place to put houses, to pave over, to put 1,000 houses. We've got 1,480 species of invertebrates, and those are only the ones we know about. Of those, over 10% have got a conservation designation, so really rare. Some of them you can only find at Middlewick in Essex. The campaign's now gone national with Bug Life's help, alongside RSPB and Essex Wildlife Trust. And this is a site of national level value. One of the species is an example of the national level value, a nightingale. So right here, we're sitting on one of the top 2 sites in the UK for nightingale. It's pretty special to have a site just a stone's throw from town where you can hear 5 or 6 or 7 nightingales singing simultaneously. We've got the skylark singing kind of in the open grassland. We've got the incredibly rare barber cell bats that are almost certainly now breeding in Birchbrook woodland. We know they're breeding just a stone throw away in Donlan Woods, Triple Side.
And I mean, the fact that we've got an area of this size is really quite remarkable. There's so few of them, and where we do have these grasslands, they're very fragmented. They're apart from each other. So if we lose a species from one of them, it can't necessarily be repopulated from another.
But as you start to appreciate the environment that you have here, that many of us probably just take for granted, just driving about, and you start seeing more. You start seeing more of the wildlife, the birds, the invertebrates, all sorts, and we need to protect it. To build on this wonderful site would be a sheer crime. Amount of joy you can find here if you just look behind a few rows of hedges.
The biodiversity on this site has been developing here since the Boer War, without pesticides, without damaging kinds of environmental impact, has allowed this astonishing array of species to have emerged. And the thought that that could be somehow replaced is just outrageous. I mean, it's an irreplaceable site. It's a product of its unique place and its unique history.
Been a very active campaign group going, fully supportive of the campaign to leave the site as it is. And it's not about maybe allowing some housing. It is really important, completely intact. So that's why I'm passionate about the fight to save Middlewick, not just for me and for my fellow enthusiasts, but really for future generations as well. So save the wick.
Really good.
Okay, I mean, I don't know if you could hear it any better.
Yeah, perfect this end, Matt. Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, and thanks for the suggestion. Sorry, I didn't catch who it was for putting the subtitles on as well. So Yeah, I mean, basically, this area of land is massively important in terms of natural biodiversity, habitat, and the the species that it supports. And we've already put our support behind the campaign as well. Officially, the Essex Birdwatching Society have done that. And there are ways that, or there is way, sorry, there are ways, bad English, that you can help as well if you wish to. So if I just share the next screen very quickly. This is the Bug Life website. So if you go onto the Bug Life website, don't do Bugs Life because you'll get an animated film by Pixar, although it is very good. But go to Bug Life, um, and they've got a whole feature here about the Middlewick Ranges. You can click on various links here to read some documentation in more detail. You can sign a petition to support the campaign to save the ranges. And you can also fund the legal campaign. So I think they're trying to raise, it was £10,000 originally. I think the target then shifted to 20. I'm going to click on this and see what it's on at the moment. Yes, it's on 12/2, and they've got 19 days to go. So they'd like to get to 20,000. And this is really to help pay for legal representation to fight, to fight for this area to be saved. So if you wish to put your name against the petition, you can do that. If you do wish to support them financially, you can do that. Or if you just want to read about what's happening, you can go onto this website and have a read of the documentation. So yeah, I think it's very important, and we just need to save this habitat, don't we? Really, if we can.
Absolutely. I mean, Andy Goody, as who's involved with Saving Middlewick, has just said, thanks for playing the video. It helps to spread the words because, being a North Essex site, a lot of the people, a lot of people maybe in South Essex don't know about it. I mean, Richard Chews just messaged to say that it's an amazing site. He's never been, but he's been following it for quite a time. So yeah, if it just makes people more aware, then it's got to be good. And as you said in the video, it's just an amazing wildlife site. So,
And I mean, some of the stuff I've been reading, obviously I don't know all the details, but it appears that some of the reports that have been going across, the eco reports, haven't necessarily picked up the stuff that we know is there. Breeding skylarks and the nightingales and so on and so forth, and all the various smaller animals, the invertebrates and the plant life. It's just so important because if we tarmac and build over all this land, what are we leaving to the future?
yeah,
People in 50 years, 100 years, what are they going to have to look at?
definitely.
It's so important for everything. So yeah, please have a look at that if you can. The other thing, while we're on the subject, something fairly similar. Let me just share this one. We did talk about this a couple of months ago, I think. So this is the 0 Hour campaign. Do you remember this? This is
We
to do with
do, yeah.
the climate and nature bill. So what they're now doing on their website. So again, this is 0hour.uk. You can once again join their campaign, as we spoke about a couple of months ago. But they're now encouraging people to write to the local MP. The bill is, I think, in January. They're trying to get the bill to go through Parliament. Um, excuse me. And this is the climate and nature bill. So this is really giving us a kind of a blueprint, if you like, for the future of nature in the country. Now, it might be not quite to everyone's liking, but at least it's something, it's a start. And if this bill can go through Parliament, it would be really important. Once again, EBS, we put our names behind this as well. And so many other bodies, including, the Wildlife Trusts, RSPB, BTO, and some key figures, as you can see in the background talking there, have all supported this. So have a look on the 0hour.uk website. Similar thing, you can either join the campaign, sign up and put your name against it to support it, or you can, if you wish to, contact your local MP to try and encourage them to get this bill through Parliament if we can.
Yeah.
There we go. Right. Good.
Well done.
That's the serious stuff over and done with. Should we have some fun?
Yes. Oh yeah, a couple of people, just a few evenings, people joining us late. Chan Lewis, he said, evening all, have a great show, guys. He said, sorry, he can't watch it live, but he's got a Thai takeaway. He said, but a Thai is calling. Now, I don't know whether that's a Thai person or
Careful, careful.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just reading. He said a Thai is calling.
Okay, I reckon it's a Thai green curry, personally. That's what I'm going for.
I don't think so. But you see, he'll watch it on catch up.
Cool.
Mo Jackson and Dave Dutton have just logged in. Susan Pembroke, she says she's a member of Bug Life and she signed and donated to the Middlewick campaign. This is an important and local site. So well done, Susan. Thanks for that.
I think very briefly as well, something like this. I mean, this it kind of sets a precedent both ways, doesn't it? If no one really bothers about, and I know it's not the case because many people are bothered about it, but if no one bothered about things like this, it would just go through, and then it would happen elsewhere. So if we can, save this site, then it could set a precedent for similar things that might occur in the future in different parts of the country to hopefully be successful. Yeah.
And Nick Warner's just signed up. There's 16,633 so far. So
Brilliant.
let's see if we can up it a bit tonight.
Yeah, good.
Then also, just quickly, Matt, sorry, just to interrupt. Tony Pickers has just said he's not sure if this is allowed or not, but his wife Karen would like a pair of beginner bird watching binoculars. If anyone's got a pair for sale, maybe they could email you and you could pass on the details.
Yeah, I've got an old pair in the car, 500 quid.
There you go, Tony. Everyone's a winner.
No, yeah, definitely. If anyone's got some old binoculars they don't want, just to start someone off, that's a really good idea. Yeah, pop it in the chat, and maybe, or if you want to, you can send your email details into ebwstalks@gmail.com. Don't put them in the chat for obvious reasons. And if you're happy for me to do so, I can pass them on to Tony. So yeah, that's good.
And then we just got a quick hello from Kieran Barrera, who's watching in East London, all nice and warm. So
excellent. Hi, Kieran. How you doing? Right.
That's it from me.
So we did have the Big County Birdwatch last month, didn't we?
We did. Only just less than a month ago. Three weeks ago? A month ago.
About that, yeah. 3 weeks ago, I think. Yeah. So it's very quickly. This is kind of the final results, and we'll whiz through these because, as always, we're running a bit late. We've got Paul. We've got Mark to bring in a bit later on, haven't we? We did tell him 8:10, and that's kind of 4 minutes away. So we might be a little bit later than we said. But very quickly, there were 108 entries in total. 34 locations were covered. 146 species were seen over the weekend. Top person, for what it's worth. Oh, hang on a minute. Is that on here? Oh, there we go. Clicking the wrong column. So it was you, Steve. 111 species you saw. Well done. Good. All heard. And then Richard was in there as well, which is good. Toby and Ben Mapp, excellent results. David L. Smith, Ben Rumsby, Steve Entwistle, all these people saw really good numbers of birds. So well done, everyone, for getting out and about. Lots of sites were covered. 4, 5, 6, 7 sites were covered by various people throughout the county. In terms of the patch rankings, which I think is really good fun, which one do you think came up first?
See, the South Essex always does rather well, doesn't it?
I haven't looked at this. I promise I haven't looked at it.
I don't know. No idea. I'm just
gonna go with Ben at Rainham because I know he had a really good day there, didn't he? But might be wrong.
Real Rainham, yeah.
Have a look. Yeah, Rainham. So the Rainham marshes got 95 species. And then Fingering we had 74. Steve Swinney at East Tilbury had 74. That's a great total for
yeah. Normally Tilbury, between Tilbury and Rainham, they get a lot of good species down on the Thames there.
Yeah, Toby and Ben had 71 at Rainham as well. David L. Smith had 72 at Fingering Mick Woodruff 68 at Abberton Reservoir. Yeah, loads of really good sightings on there. So thanks once again to everyone who took part. We've got some news about Big County Birdwatch 2025, haven't we?
We'll do that now.
Yeah, go for it.
So, Big County Birdwatch 2025 is back from the 11th to the 13th. No, 14th, 11th. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, didn't I? 11th to the 14th of April next year.
Yes.
So you can expect lots of sort of maybe dawn chorusy type walks, and yeah, we'll have lots of stuff going on as usual. So keep an eye on our social media website in the new year. It won't probably be until February time, but yeah, keep watching.
Yeah, we'll get the details up in the new year at some point.
Yep.
And yeah, come along and get involved if you can. They'll be fantastic. Right. What I'm thinking, Steve, because we're running a little bit late, and we did say to Mark 8:10. So if we swap, we bring Mark in now, and then we can cover the other stuff later on. Right.
Great minds. I was thinking exactly the same thing. So yeah, cool.
First of all, let me just load up. So John Ward, as you know, he always does a mindful moment video for us, which is fantastic, and we thank him so much for that. This month, we've got 2 videos from him, which is good. Mm. So the first one, I'm hopefully about to play. Maybe, hang on a minute. I've just got to find it quickly. Here we go. And it's in here. Right. Can you see a screen with a turtle dove on?
I can.
Excellent. I'm going to press play. Hopefully the volume should work on this as well because it's direct feeding. So hold on. Brilliant. And as if by magic, Mark's appeared. Hey!
Good evening. Oh,
Hello.
I'm not
Unprofessional,
on there.
this was.
I thought, have I missed my cue? I thought that was that must have been Cherry Tree Bob. That first one. I recognise the leaves.
You don't
Ah.
know.
Okay.
Madness must have
And
been.
what people watching don't know is my sound wasn't working there. That was actually Mark sitting there going.
Oh, I wish I was that good.
I can't believe it's called Cherry Tree Bob.
Well, that's my name for him. I don't know why.
I love that.
That's
Love
hilarious.
it. How you doing, Mark?
I'm very well. How are you?
We're not bad. We're
I've
not
been
bad.
enjoying the show so far. Thank you much.
Excellent.
Good.
No, thank
I'm
you for
glad
coming
you made the Howard Jones gag. Saved me doing it.
on.
I'm
I
gonna,
think
after this, I'm going to quit the RSPB and go and be a pop star.
Right. You're on today to give us a little bit of a roundup as to what's been happening with the old turtle doves this year, because it's kind of, for a change, it's kind of sort of positive news, I think, isn't it? Pretty much ish.
Well, indeed.
Mm,
Yes. Yeah.
which is good, and you should hopefully be able to screen share. Fingers
Do
crossed.
we do that now? Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're good to go.
you're good to go. Yeah, brilliant.
Your light's a little bit harsh there in the background, Mark. I don't know. Can you
Is it?
turn it down at all, or?
No. Is that any good? No.
Actually, yeah,
Oh,
that was
brilliant.
better. To be fair, can you go?
Oh, hang on. Share. There we go. Share. Right.
Okay, cool. Oh, we can see everything.
Brilliant.
We've seen the whole slideshow. Thanks very much indeed. Thanks for coming. Goodbye.
And good night.
Bye.
Excellent. Okie doke. All right.
Right, we'll be quiet and let you go.
Great stuff. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good to kind of see you virtually. A little bit odd saying that because I can't see you anyway. But yeah, I'm going to give you an update for sort of 10, 15 minutes about Operation Turtle Dove. So I'm very fortunate to work for the RSPB full time as a turtle dove conservation advisor in Essex. We have advisors working across the Eastern England and Southeast England, working with an array of fantastic farmers and other landowners on specifically on turtle doves, but I see turtle doves as a bit of an umbrella species. You manage for them and you're managing for a whole suite of other farm wildlife. So just to take a step back and zooming out, if you like, to Europe. This is a map from the European Bird Atlas, which shows the density of populations across Europe. The darker, the more there are. Our birds, UK birds, turtle doves are migratory, of course. They migrate across Western Europe, France, Spain, and Portugal, into West Africa, and then return in April, May time. Some birds don't even return aren't back on our shores until into June. And there is a Central European flyaway as well, where their birds do the same thing, going south in the autumn and then returning. You'll often hear people say, well, it's no good doing anything because it's all the Maltese fault. There's Malta with the red dot. Our birds, the Western flyaway birds, don't go through Malta. There are issues across the flyway, but our birds are not Malta's birds. So just knock that one on the head if you like. So there's been a huge amount of background work. We've known for decades, a couple of decades, what the issue is in for turtle doves here in the UK. There's simply not enough food for them. They feed on the ground on accessible seed, and due to changes in the farm landscape, that sort of habitat is not as prevalent as what it used to be. And it's issues here in the UK, meaning they're less productive, but also issues on the flyway with the unsustainable levels of hunting in across France, Spain, and Portugal for our birds, and east and further east as well. So in those three countries, France, Spain, and Portugal, in 2019, the bag return, the bird shot was 900,000, which is just nearly 1 million birds. It's nuts. So that works. So I'll go back. So we had developed a single species action plan to address those two key issues. So providing advice to farmers here in the UK and trying to sort out the hunting situation in those three countries. And here's a map here of the trend for turtle doves in the Western European flyway. And in 2021 was the first year that there was a zero harvest of turtle doves in those three countries, which came through that species action plan. And so but up until then, the population had declined by 40% from 1998. On the back of that zero harvest, in the which was at its lowest ebb, within 2 years, the population has gone up 25% in the Western flyway. That's 400,000 birds, which is amazing. You know, when you think back, sort of go back 15 years and say, okay, we've got to stop 3 countries where shooting is endemic. We've got to stop them shooting. That's a massive undertaking, but it's been achieved. You know, so there's now been 4 years where these birds have not been shot. The same can't be said for situation in the central and eastern flyway. The rate of decline is not as steep, but it's still at 40%. But we're not seeing the uptick that we have done in the western flyway. So that's really good news. That 25% increase. That's a really good story to tell our farmers and other stakeholders that the corner feels like it's being turned. So when we first started working, we had these areas known as turtle dove friendly zones back in 2012 across, which were sort of the core areas as we recognised from the 2008-2011 breeding bird survey. We've kind of brought this up to date with the work that we do. All of these dots represent farmers and landowners who we are engaged with and have been for the last 6-7 years or so. And the total area of engagement with landowners is now sort of at 75,000 hectares. And you can see you've got Essex there in grey, with about sort of a what's that? About sort of 20,000 hectares of area of engagement in the county, which is really good, and that's been going up steadily. And as the number of land holdings that we've engaged with as a project, nearly 450 farms, landowners, community groups, etc., are engaged doing turtle dove conservation action to some degree, shape, or form. And most critically, at the moment, whilst we're still working as hard as we can to increase natural foraging provision for turtle doves, the main thing we do in the spring and summer is we have a lot of sites, again, about 420 sites, where we are supplementary feeding for turtle doves. So we're broadcasting a seed mix close to where in core areas for turtle doves, and because to provide early available accessible seed whilst we're working with farmers to improve the situation and in creating natural foraging habitat. And in Essex this year, I feel it's been a really good year. Sort of, I've been in this role for 3 years now, and every year my emails are going, my WhatsApp's going, the phone's going with sightings of birds. The first one we had was on the 21st of April this year from one of the regular farms. And most of these dots, these blue dots, are all the records that I received. They're not records that people might have entered independently, that there'll be additional ones to these. But this is just goes to show sort of the where that we've got sort of half a dozen or so core areas. We've got the Foulness, Wakering Stairs area, the Rabness area, Fingering Hoe, Blackwater, Bures area near Housestead, and over in the Rodings as well. There seem to be like the 6 hotspots where we're getting a lot of records and good levels of farmer engagement. But those orange hashed areas are sort of kind of like my adopted turtle dove friendly zones now. And in those 6 areas this year, had more records come in than in the previous 2 years. That could be an artifact of me being more established and building more contacts, but certainly for Rabness, the Rabness area, there's a definite increase away from the Essex Wildlife Trust Reserve, and there's a much rosier picture around the Fingering Hoe, sort of bright, and sort of a North Brightening Sea area as well this year. And on top of that, we've also had confirmed records of seeing juvenile birds at 10 sites, whereas last year I just had 2. So as well as the anecdotal records received, we've been very grateful to have some great volunteers who've done some standardized monitoring on 16 farms this year, who they undertook surveys on 2 occasions between May the 11th and the end of July, which basically followed the national survey method we used in 2021. 10 of those 16 sites recorded turtle doves during the surveys. 4 of the other 6 sites had birds present other times of the year, and just 1 had no records, and the other site had birds so close and an unconfirmed report of a bird singing later on the season. And I promise that farmer this time next year you're getting turtle doves. And prior to that, our engagement isn't just around turtle doves. I mean, and I'm very conscious that to be as broad and as supportive to farmers as possible. The Game and Wildlife Conservation Trust runs something called the Big Farmland Bird Count, which is the equivalent of the Big Garden Birdwatch, where essentially farmers go out for half an hour, count their farmland birds, and log them with the Game and Wildlife Conservation Trust. We did a pilot last year, and this year we surveyed, I think, a dozen farms last year. This year, again, we had 12 volunteers signed up who covered 25 farms, and we record across those 25 farms, we record 84 species. And each farm, it's great to have that engagement. Each farm got a report of the birds that were seen, and I'll give them a little league table as well as a bit of a taster, because farmers are often competitive. They'll get their individual summary and they'll get this report as well, and they'll see that 24 out of 25 farms recorded chaffinch, 16 out of 25 recorded yellowhammer. 9 of those 9 that didn't might be thinking, well, I haven't got yellowhammers, what can we do about this? And then it leaves it gets them thinking about what can I do, who do I speak to? I'll speak to Mark at the RSPB to see what we can do about it. Just continued positive engagement. Anyway, and so the other big thing we've been working on this year is on ponds. So turtle does need access to fresh water for drinking. Eating seed is a pretty dry diet. So there's a chap called Professor Carl Sayer who works for University College London, and he describes ponds as the most neglected habitat in the British countryside. And you can see this here is a restored pond. This was a ghost. This pond would have been filled in and been worked over for decades, but it's been brought back to life. It's been excavated, and vegetation has grown around it, and it's now just this fantastic oasis of wildlife in the middle of an agricultural field. So if you look at historic maps, you will see that the land, the ponds are everywhere. This one slide here shows just part of one farm I visited last month, and it's a 300-acre farm, and it's got 45 ponds on it. And we've worked with the Essex Wildlife Trust since the beginning of the year. Again, with volunteers, we mapped all the ponds from the Ordnance Survey map from the late 19th century, and there are over 17,500 ponds in Essex. And unfortunately, most of them are in a pretty poor state. They've fallen out of use. They've really been used for watering livestock, fish ponds, so many different things. But again, changes in farming, ponds don't serve that purpose. There's very few livestock in the landscape now, certainly in our landscape, and they've fallen out of use and disappeared. So if you just keep an eye on the ponds to the right of Lawns Farm there, We just run a little roll through to the modern day satellite view and see how they disappear. There we go. They've all gone. There's some of them there are still, but those ones in that brown field have disappeared completely and are ghosts. But many of them are dry and terrestrialized now. But they can be brought to life. That's the great thing. This is again a story of hope. There's this fantastic guide that UCL and the Freshwater Habitats Trust produced, which is free to download. Gives you all the details about how to restore and create ponds. And it brings back so much life into the countryside, and that document has been heavily researched, and the change in bird numbers, bat numbers, invertebrates, freshwater invertebrates, newts, other amphibians, fish as well, aquatic plants, all up. If you restore a pond, if you leave it overgrown, they're stagnant, they're anaerobic, and there's really not much life in them. And all the trends are positive, you know, just like this one is showing for farmland birds. So what we have been doing is we've ran events with farmers to invite them to demonstration days. The chap on the right on his own is Carl Sayer, the professor, who's came along and advised farmers about the top tips for pond restoration, which is essentially remove the trees from the south face, let the light in, and dig out the sediment. And you will bring that pond back to life. And we've taken our monitoring one stage further, and where we're working with farms in farm clusters, which are 3 or 4 core areas in the county, we offer a free pond condition assessment service to farmers, where we send out, we've trained volunteers to go out. We've got a survey app which we can record all the data for each pond on a phone. There's a pond in there somewhere. And then provide the farmer with a report as to show which are the best ponds to restore and where the best funding is to get that work done. And it's just one example. I was looking at this pond here, the little blue dot. I was looking at it on yesterday, yes, that's right. Out doing some work with Paul and David and Tim. And this historic pond looked like that 2 years ago. The farmer here, who's guy called Joe Gray, loves restoring ponds, got to work in it last autumn, and it now looks like this. This was yesterday, open and sunny, water in the base, and we had a quick look. It was icy, but you could see invertebrates underneath it, and you could see this plant growing, and this is water crowfoot, which is a common plant, but you know, it wouldn't have been in that picture on the left because it would have been dry and you know, barren underneath. But now there is this water crowfoot coming through, and it's just a first step in colonization. And this time next year, it's going to look like that, which is amazing. But yeah, there we go.
Oh, that was superb.
Fantastic.
Do you know what? I had no idea Essex had that many ponds.
A lot of ponds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just changing, as you said, changing agricultural practice that's caused most of them just to sort of, fall away. But that's incredible. That picture at the end, I mean, that's that before and after.
Yeah. And that's I mean, a journalist license, but that pond with the water crowfoot was another farmer. He's just mad for ponds. He just digs them all the time. And that one was 2 years old. He dug it from nothing, and this water crowfoot had just appeared. You know, it's lovely. Wow. You see a pond full of water crowfoot. Oh, beautiful.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The thing is, I mean, coming back to the turtle doves, and obviously it's fantastic that they appear to be, you know, bouncing. Well, they're not appear; they are bouncing back in the area, which is brilliant. I think all the work that everyone's been doing across Europe and in this country is just wonderful, and you know, long may that continue, and hopefully these birds will come back in good numbers as they were when we were all young. But the ponds, it's going to be a symbiotic relationship, isn't it, really? Because if you can bring the ponds back as well, it's going to benefit all those species, including turtle doves. So the whole thing kind of links together. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. No, really good.
So I mean, the key thing for turtle doves is food, and the challenge in Essex is on heavy clay, and farmers who work in the clay. So what you need to do is cultivate the ground to allow for annual arable plants to come out of the seed bank. But what you often get is a massive weed burden. And if you're a farmer, what you don't want is a shed load of weed burden, and it's a difficult sell. So
Right.
doing ponds is something that farmers like doing, can do, doesn't affect the cropped area, and it's a pathway. It's almost like a gateway drug, So it's like, so having that
Yeah.
so having a conversation about developing that trust to say, come on, let's go for some cultivated margins here, or other options that are going to sort of complete the package to be turtle dove ready.
And then the whole thing sort of
Yeah.
grows and brilliant. Well, just to let people watching know, if they aren't aware already, we had our conference earlier this year, and during the conference we had a raffle, and the proceeds raised from the raffle, some of which went towards providing bird feeders and food for hospices, a couple of hospices in the south of the county. Um, but some of the money we're going to be buying 500 kilograms of turtle dove feed, which I'll be ordering at some point. Mark, I'll liaise with you, obviously, as you know, and that'll be delivered early part of next year, to be sort of spread down in the right areas, on the right farms, right land, to obviously give these turtle doves a good start when they come back into the UK in the spring. So yeah, thanks to everyone who bought raffle tickets. Thanks to those who ordered them, through the post. It wasn't just people that came on the day. And the money that you kindly donated in the raffle is going to a very good cause, or two very good causes, in fact. So yes, thank you for that.
Much appreciated, Matt. It's really kind of you, and thank you to everyone for buying their raffle tickets and getting some good prizes.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, the prizes, yes. And what do prizes make? Turtle dove feed. And I think, you know what? I think that's brilliant. Yeah. Don't do that again, Steve, please.
Richard Shoes asked a question, Mark. He said, do you think that the Western Highway hunting ban will hold? Is it temporary or permanent?
So it's called a zero harvest. It's so that the hunters were included in the discussions about how have always been part of the process for the amount of birds being for around zero harvest. Sorry, so it's not a complete ban; it's a moratorium, just like whale hunting is a moratorium. So it's called, the technical term, it's an adaptive harvest management. So at some stage, the hunting community need to demonstrate that they can take a sustainable harvest of turtle doves, which is, to most of us, is a bit mad, but it will never be, it should never be on the scale that it was.
I mean, nearly 1 million in a year is just
mad, isn't it? Absolutely mad.
It's mind-boggling. I can't even imagine what 1 million, dead turtle doves looks like. It must be horrific. So yeah. We did have also, just coming back a little bit, there's been a couple of emails dropped in, both from Jerry actually. So he mentioned about the turtle dove feed. So thanks, Jerry, for mentioning that. And he also did mention going back to the Essex Field Club thing next Saturday at Wat Tyler. On our stand, there's going to be some rustic nest boxes. I can't say it, but rustic nest boxes, which will be available for just £3 each. So if anyone wants to help the birds in their garden and put a nest box up, then please pop along to Wat Tyler and pick up a rustic nest box for £3, a bargain. Anything else in the chat for Mark, Steve?
Yep. Andy Goody said he's starting his winter farmland survey tomorrow. He said if it ever stops raining. I think tomorrow's all right, isn't it? Just a bit windy, so you'll be all right, Andy. And then Richard Chu again, he's just said, well done, Mark, and everyone involved in this essential turtle dove recovery project. Keep going. So,
and
I think we echo that as well, don't we? So, yeah.
100%. I mean, I think.
Oh, and then another one, just while we're here. Can anyone volunteer for the big farmland bird count? If so, is it mainly in the North Essex, or are there opportunities in the south?
I should have said so. I spoke so fast. Yeah, I mean, we'll certainly want to do the same again this year. And if drop me a line, and I'll put you on the list.
Cool. Okay. I just want to echo what Steve said as well. I think since you've been doing this, Mark, your sort of natural enthusiasm for it's not, you can tell by just talking to you for a few moments that this isn't just a job to you, of course, and just the enthusiasm, the passion with which you speak. I think that in itself is a big part of what engages people. So it's not just the message, it's the way it's delivered. And I think you should give yourself a massive pat on the back for the work you're doing and the effect that it's having.
You're
Really
very
good.
kind. Thank you,
Really
mate.
good work.
Cheers.
Well said, Matt. Well said.
Cool. All right. And anything else in the chat at all?
Let me just have a
If
quick
not, I'm going to boot
look.
him out.
Yeah, do that.
No, no, I
You
think
can
that's
turn
it.
that light off for definite now.
No, oh,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, we're all good. And thanks once again for coming on, Mark.
That's a pleasure. Always a
Yeah,
pleasure.
thank you.
Never a chore.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And do you know what? It
And-
won't be long before the old turtle doves are back again.
It won't be long. No.
Well, you
Days
know
get
what?
longer in 6 weeks' time. Happy days.
Absolutely. And we'll be, and I've put my name forward to do a farmland survey over the winter, and I think you have as well, Steve.
Yep.
And we're looking forward to lots of ponds coming up as well over the next few months and stuff. So yeah, fantastic. Really good work. Thanks, Mark. And
Thanks,
appreciate
Mark.
you coming on. Thank you.
Have a
Tally
nice
ho.
Take
Christmas,
care.
Mark. Have a nice Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't say that. It's November. What's wrong with you?
We might not be seeing him.
Come on, let me
Well
go now.
done, yeah.
Come on.
Merry Christmas. Bye. Oh my goodness. Fantastic.
That was that was superb.
Brilliant.
I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, turtle doves are amazing birds, and with Mark's enthusiasm behind it, it's it's brilliant.
I think Mark's really good value. I mean, anyone that's met Mark or spent any time with Mark at all, what you see is what you get with Mark. That's what I really like. And he's just, yeah, he makes you smile, he makes you laugh, and he's very, very knowledgeable, and he's very engaging. So I think you got all those things going, which is brilliant. Right, we are a bit behind. Should we rattle through some stuff? So
We can catch up a bit now.
yeah, activities. Right, very quickly. We had a monthly meeting at the beginning of the month. Let me just share this screen. Unfortunately, neither of us were there. Well, I wasn't. I don't think you were you, Steve?
No, I couldn't make it either. So unfortunately,
But it was this meeting here. So this was in the indoor meetings hall in Chelmsford. And it was a talk by Paul Alistair Collins, who's a professional photographer, about Svalbard and the bird life and landscapes and wildlife that he's seen there. And he shared a lot of the photos as well. I know there was an issue with the projector on the evening. That is something that we're looking to resolve before the next indoor meeting, hopefully. So apologies to anyone who went, that the talk was slightly delayed, but I know we got it going in the end, and I think everyone said they had a fantastic time, and the photography was superb. So that's that coming up. I'll just scroll up the screen while we're here to save time. This is the one I mentioned earlier on, happening on Monday, the wild bird legislation talk. And then underneath, we've got on the 6th of December, Keith Betton from the Hampshire Ornithological Society. He's coming along online to tell us what's going on in Hampshire and the state of the birds there. So that should be a really good talk as well. We'll get links to all of this on the website over the next sort of day or two, hopefully. And if you subscribe to our mailing list, you'll be sent information about the Hampshire talk a week or so beforehand. So yeah, all good to go. That's that. And then we had some events, didn't we? We had an event on South End Pier.
we had a South End Pier sort of pop-up event, didn't we, with Birdware Essex Coast.
And that was amazing because we well, on the way down there, we were kind of chatting, weren't we? And we were saying, how many people do you reckon are going to turn up? And I kind of thought about 15 or so, and you thought maybe a little bit more, but about the same.
Yep.
And we kind of had how many? It was over 40 in the end, I think, wasn't there?
Well, I think it was like 45 people or something. It was,
Yeah.
I mean, the weather was, the forecast wasn't that good. I mean, although that good, not good weather is often good for birds, but it was like going to be foggy and you know what? It was absolutely gorgeous.
It was brilliant. I mean, we had lovely blue skies, a little bit of cloud on at the end of the pier, but on the way out there, the skies were absolutely clear blue. I completely forgot to take any pictures of the big group, but luckily, Chloe from Birdware Essex Coast, who were with us for the day, making people aware of what's going on around and what birds are out there. She took this picture of some of the groups. That's about half the group, I think, isn't it?
Yep, that's half the group. Yep.
Enjoying the sights at the end of the pier, and we did see some birds, didn't we? Which is
It
good.
was really good.
So this little chappie just dropped it. There was a couple of cormorants, weren't there?
Yep.
Sort of
Yep.
sunning themselves, and then this bird just flew in and landed. And I think a few members of the group had sort of kind of noticed it, but not really looked at it. And I think didn't someone say to you, "I think there might be a shag,"
Yeah. Yeah.
and you got your bins on it and like shag.
Yeah.
So fantastic. I mean, what a great bird to see that close.
Yeah. And it was it was super close, as Matt's picture shows, and yeah, I mean that was certainly the highlight of the bird highlight. But we saw loads of other stuff.
We did, yeah. I mean, I've only put a couple of bits on it. There was a nice group of turnstone at the end of the little sort of causeway area, the slipway where the boats are launched from, I presume. And then we had this chap as well, didn't we?
Oh, you can't be a mid goal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was a few of these, but we'll come back to the Med goals in a second because Dave Dutton sent in a couple of PDFs with some ringing information. One of which was actually this bird. And then just to show there were cormorants there as well, we had this one of the cormorants on the way back to the train because we walked up and trained back, didn't we, in the end?
Nice.
And one of the cormorants was sunning its wings very very nicely for us on the way back, so we thought we'd grab a picture of that. But yeah, Dave very kindly sent in some ringing information. So I think Jan Lewis was also checking the rings out as well. But we've got, here we go, just very quickly, if I can share this, hold on. And there we go. Right. This is the first one. I think this is actually the bird that I just showed the picture of. So this had it lost its like the coloured ring, the Dalek ring, but it had a metal ring on. And between I think Dave, myself, you, Jan, we kind of managed to work out what the number was. So Dave submitted the information, and as you can see, this bird was ringed for the first time back in 2000 in what's that? Pays de Calais, so Calais, I presume, somewhere near Calais.
Yeah,
And then it kind of tends to pretty much hang out either at Southend Pier most of its life, or back to France a couple of times. So in 2001, 2003, 2004, and then you've got this huge gap.
Mm.
So it was reported in 2005, and then I'm assuming that no, 38 sightings, so that it's not been edited or anything. So there's like a 19-year gap.
Do you think it's when it lost its ring?
That's what I was just going to say. I imagine it must have lost its ring. So maybe in 19 years, this is the first, well, it's always the first time that anyone's actually got close enough to be able to photograph the metal ring and submit it.
Yeah.
But what that means is that this bird, if I can do 2024 minus 2000, I think it means this bird is coming up to its 24th birthday in about 6 days' time, at least.
Exactly.
Like that.
Yeah,
24 years old. In fact, no, sorry, it was ringed in June, so it's over 24 years old. 24 years.
Wow.
That's mad. I don't know how long Med Goal will survive for. I'm not sure, but obviously at least 24 years.
I was going to say, it's got to be around then, I would say. I mean, I honestly don't know.
That must be getting on a little bit for a goal, I would imagine. But there we go. And then this is the other one very quickly. So this, we didn't see pictures of this one, but this was also at the end of the pier. Similar sort of thing with this one. And this was ringed in 2010. Where was that? In, goodness, don't know where that is. Brussels? Is that Belgium, do you think? Not sure. Brussels ringing scheme. I should have looked at this really before I showed it, but I think it was probably Belgium, I would imagine. Yeah, Belgium, there you go. Yep. And then again from Belgium to Southend Pier, into East Sussex in 2013, back to Southend, and kind of hanging out in Southend pretty much most of the time. A couple of visits to East Sussex, and then across to the Netherlands. It spent how long? It spent most of the early part of the year in the Netherlands, and then back to Southend again. So yeah,
Wow.
I think they're just fun to see those things.
A quick Google says they live about 15 years. Some birds can last 18 years, it said.
Wow.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I had a quick look on Google. I didn't go into it in depth, but
And this
Yeah,
is why ringing's so good because you get to see not only where these birds go and how they move and how site faithful they can be, which is why some sites are just so important to protect.
absolutely.
But also you get to see how old things are, and how long they can survive for if they're lucky
Yep.
and successful. Right, good. That's that. We
And
also
then
had where else?
yeah,
Where else did we go? Rutland.
we went to Rutland Water last Sunday,
We did.
which was
Yes.
our November field trip. It was good. I mean, the weather forecast was meant to be a bit rubbish, and we had a few spots of rain, but it didn't really rain until we left really. So it was a really good day out.
Yeah, definitely. Do you want to talk through these pictures, Steve, if I flick through them?
Okay, let me just wait to see them.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Oh, look, there's a lot of bird watchers.
Hmm.
Yeah, so this is us. We just checked in at the Anglian Birdwatching Centre at Eggleton. So there's two nature reserves at Rutland Water for those who haven't been. There's the Linden, which is on the south shore, and Eggleton, which is, I suppose, on the west shore. So yeah, we checked in, got our permits, and then we sort of split up into different groups and went off because they've got loads of hides, haven't they? I mean, it's just
Mm.
hides everywhere. So this is us, and I think I think we were looking at a song thrush. There was a
Yeah, we
song
were.
thrush.
There was a song thrush in the bush there, wasn't there? And we got to the first. So the first hides, I think you got Dunlin and Sandpiper were the first two that we went to.
Yep.
And what was quite good fun was that Steve obviously realised we weren't all going to fit in one hide, so we split into two groups. And Steve shouted out, right, those who want to follow Matt, and those who want to follow me, follow me. And I turned around and I think I had about 8 or 10 people following me, and you had about 40 following you. But it did split the group up. So in the hide that I went to, we had a nice amount of room, and you were still able to get everyone to see everything in your hide, weren't you? Which was
I
good.
mean, the good thing about the hides at Rutland is that they are nice, quite big. So although it took a little bit of effort, we got there in the end, and everyone saw everything,
Mm.
which was good.
I've just got a few pictures of some of the birds that we saw on the day. So this was kind of more in the latter part of the day. I think we saw a little
Yeah,
group of skin, didn't we?
that was during the afternoon. Yep.
Hmm. They're quite nice. The light conditions weren't. I mean, it was quite grey and a little bit sort of cold and so on. But the light itself was actually all right in the end, wasn't it? It wasn't too
Pretty
bad.
good. Yeah, it was
Hmm.
really good.
This is when I took out one of the hides. I think the buzzard hide.
Yep.
And there wasn't an awful lot of variety out there, but this great black gull came and landed. And I just thought, as a size comparison, for anyone that isn't aware of how big great black gulls there, we all know how big a cormorant is. Uh,
Absolutely.
if you stretch that out, it's kind of the same size, if not bigger, on its
Yep.
body. Huge.
Yep. Huge thing.
And then right. That was. I've gone. You tell people what that was because
Oh wow, you got a picture. So
yeah.
yeah, I don't know who it was of the group, but I know I think it was a local bird watcher was in the hide, and he said, "Oh, I think I've got a small grebe," and it was a long way away.
Mm,
So it turned out, it's Matt's picture here, Slavonian grebe, but it was miles away, and it was like it came up, you saw it for
mhm.
2 seconds, and then it was down again.
Oh, it was a nightmare. I mean, it was very active and it was right over the far side, as Steve said. At one point, it did kind of pop up next to a great
Ah,
crested grebe for a while, which
cracking.
shows quite good size comparison. Because from distance, I know it sounds a bit silly, but they can look similar from distance on the
Mm,
marking, if they're a
yep.
long way away. Um, so size-wise, you can see this clear size difference. And I think your group had already left the hide when I got into there, and everyone sort of wandered off, and I was left on my own because I was just trying to get some distant pictures. And there was another birding group, nothing to do with us, but they turned up, and I had my scope on it. And at one point, I think I had about 15 or 20 people queuing, and each time I was having to try and get on this grebe that was kind of up, down, up, down, up, down. It was
Uh,
hilarious. Yeah.
and it didn't come up in the same place, obviously. It came
No,
up in
no, not
different
at all.
places. So
Not
you're
at all.
busy moving your scope. And then
Exactly.
equally distant was this
Oh,
great northern diver, which again covered huge distances.
you know what? This bird, I mean, it popped up at one point quite, well, not close, but reasonably close. And then it dived, and then I didn't see it again until the afternoon, and I've got no idea where it went. I
I
mean,
know we
gone.
Yeah, I was going to say we watched it originally, and it dived, and it came up probably 300 meters from where it went down.
Hmm. I cannot believe they can hold their breath for so long and move so quickly underwater as well. It's incredible. Oh, and then this was towards the end of the day. We had a nice view of a male marsh harrier, and
Oh, that's nice.
if you can see in the distance here, that some of the group are already back at the centre. So whoever this is obviously watching the same bird, which I thought I quite like that. That was quite good
I
fun.
like that. That's good.
Yeah, that's quite good. And then right at the end, we had sort of there was actually three white blobs, two to start with, and a third one joined them. And the two initially were next to the cows that had moved quite close to the centre. So somebody said there's some egrets out there, and I think you were upstairs, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was downstairs, and I think we all at the same time, everyone kind of got on them and realised they were cattle egrets. And one of the three was a little egret, and it ended up being again quite a good comparison in terms of their shape and the way they move and stuff. So yeah, there you go.
It was a good
Nice to
day.
see.
Yeah. And
Nice,
thanks to everyone that came and made it so enjoyable.
definitely. And thanks to the driver as well. Was it Phil? Was his name Phil? Was it Phil?
Phil, he was hilarious. He was brilliant.
He was fantastic. He was spotting kestrels and red kites and I mean, obviously, he should have been driving really, but no,
No,
so he was. He
Health
was.
and safety was
He definitely
paramount.
both hands were on the wheel at all times. But a couple of times he kind of called out kestrel because obviously down low you can see more of what's going on. Yeah, he was fantastic, Phil. Really good.
He
So,
was a
yeah,
new. He was a new. We've not had him as a driver before, so obviously probably a bit of an eye opener having a coach of 50 birders on the on the coach, and he's because obviously we were pointing stuff out as we were driving, and he got well into the swing of things.
yeah, he did. Yeah, he was good. Yeah, definitely. Right. And then next month, or well, yeah, it's next month, isn't it? So on the 15th of December, we've got Abberton, haven't we, coming up? And that's a self-drive trip to Abberton Reservoir near Colchester, just to the south of Colchester. Um, you can't make that one, I don't think. And
I'm out for that one.
I'm not sure. I might be there, I might not, because I've got a webs count on the day as well. So I might be kind of ducking in and out, possibly a little bit. I don't know yet. But Jerry will be there, and there'll be lots of other people there as well. So come along. Abberton's always good. Bring your bins, bring your scope if you've got one. If you haven't, there'll be scopes that you can borrow and look through. And we'll be meeting there, I think, at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Yeah, and there's lots of good birds there at the moment,
Yep.
so should be a good day.
Yep, definitely. So that's good. Right. Shall we very quickly, obviously, to be a member of Essex Birdwatching Society, if you want to, you can join, and it's really good value. Let me just see if I can get the membership screen up. And Steve is going to show us some
Thank you.
merchandising stuff, I
Down the
think. Yeah, go for it.
merchandise.
There we go.
So £16
Excellent.
is all it costs.
How much?
£16. I know. You
Oh.
can't. You can't. What can you buy for 16 quid nowadays? Well, a membership to the Essex Birdwatching Society. 2 copies of Essex Birding. So this is it comes out twice a year.
Yep.
Full of great photos. Roundup of what's been seen in Essex. Some great articles from Essex and around. There you go. There's a Mark. There you go. Look at that. But Mark Nowers wrote an article on French birds of Le Brun.
There you go.
And a nice picture of a turtle dove there. Probably. Oh, nice picture there of a turtle dove from Mark. So you get 2 of those a year, and then, as we mentioned earlier, the Essex Bird Report. So this is where all those 250,000 records goes into. So Neil Sumner, editor, and his amazing team put this together. So it's a great, a huge amount of work goes in this. So you
Massive.
get this once a year as well.
And you can
Well,
also buy
yeah.
stuff. We've got shopping bags, and we've got notebooks, and we've got umbrellas, and we've got caps and t-shirts and sweatshirts and secondhand books and badges and all sorts of things.
So bag makes a very good apron.
There you go. Wow,
In fact, it's quite good. That is the
that's really good. I like that.
It's like an apron for short-bodied people like me.
You're making me feel hungry now. I haven't had dinner yet. I'm thinking of you're in the kitchen cooking up a nice omelette or something. That'd be yeah, very good.
Would you like some onion soup?
So yeah, if you want any birding gear, it's all on the website. There's a little merchandise section on there. And if you haven't joined, fixture card, yes.
The card, so you get this when you join. Gives you all the society committees, all their contact details are on here. There's also all our field trips, evening meetings, Big County Birdwatch. Everything's on here. So
Yep.
you'll get that as well.
So join up if you can. If you go to the EBWS website, you can
New
log on. You
badges.
can click the screen in the top here, which says Join Renew, the button at the top right, and it tells you how to do it here, what the costs are, and you can join online. Just click the Join Now button, follow the instructions through. Junior members, just £4 a year. Look at that, nothing really,
Oh,
and
wow.
they still get all the same stuff. So if you're under 18 and you want to join the society, now's a good chance to do so.
Yep.
Good
And
stuff, right?
normally, I mean, membership renewal is normally up in January, so you're going to get a couple of months free if you join now.
Yeah, definitely.
6 weeks.
Anything else in the chat before we do John's video?
Oh, let me just have a quick look. Pete Dwight said, if you do join, gift aid if you can, please. Yep. So what else? Got Steve Entwistle was watching.
Oh, hi, Steve.
So he's watching tonight. Yeah. Pete Dwight says we've even got members in Cornwall. We've got members all over the. We've got members all over the place. You don't have to live in Essex to become a member. But you know, he's joined. And then Nick
Brilliant.
Warner told me to get the dinner on. So thanks, Nick.
Right, I think on that note, let's have a mindful moment with John. So we've got
We need to be calm.
2 minutes and 58 seconds of wonderful calm. Here we go.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit. Brilliant.
Superb.
Yeah, I love it. I love the slow motion shag diving.
You can see like it moved and then up and down.
Well, they do say that a shag leaps more than a cormorant, and you can really see it kind of, yeah.
Do you
Brilliant.
know what I think next month, if we if the the BBC let us back,
Mm.
we should just get John to do an hour and a half of mindful moment, and we could just sit back and watch.
Definitely, definitely. I particularly like the turnstones that were calling like herring gulls. They were really good.
And that was obviously at Gunners Park, the
Oh, was it?
turnstones as well.
Oh, I assumed they were the ones at the end of the pier. Ah, maybe okay.
Yeah, sorry, what? Sorry, that's what I meant. Oh, I keep thinking, do you know, I get confused with Southend Pier and Gunners Park.
Southend Pier is the long pointy thing that sticks out a mile or so into the river, and Gunners Park is brilliant.
Okay,
Okay, shall we have a
thank
break?
you.
I think you
Yeah, I
deserve
think
one.
it's been a long Saturday night, mate.
Yeah, I know. Right, okay. So we're going to go from the sublime to the ridiculous, as
And,
always.
and also, voting has finished on the competition.
It definitely has, and I know the
All
result.
over. I wonder what the winner is. Oh, I'm
There you
excited.
go. Right, so we're going to have a quick break, 3 minutes. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Hello.
No. I went
Right.
to unmute I wanted to unmute myself, and my screen, the picture of me moved, and I couldn't find the button. It was like, oh no. That was good. That was good.
Well, that was good. Yeah, I just went through, grabbed the drink. Right, Tina is multitasking. Multitasking. So she's watching
Really?
a show on the iPad. She's reading the news on her phone. I've got my dinner because I haven't had dinner yet. So I've got dinner waiting for me, waiting to be kind of like reheated or whatever when as soon as finished. And she's got the darts on the telly as well. So it just proves that women can multitask. Because I couldn't do all that stuff. Amazing.
I could barely unmute the screen then. So
Oh no, incredible. I think that's because we've got the heating fixed. So now that our heating's fixed, she's kind of
switch
warmed
it
up,
off.
come back to life. Sorry?
Switch it off.
Yeah, switch it off. Yeah.
She'd be
Right.
sitting there going, so cold. She can't hold her phone. She can't touch the remote control. She can't use the oven.
Oh, brilliant. Right, very quickly, we've had another email through from Jerry, and let's just share this screen before we do the results of the photo competition. So, do you want to talk about this quickly?
I was going to talk about that later
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, so probably for all you know, Jerry Johnson has been 20 years as chair of the society, and very duly, he needs a well-deserved break. So Jerry's standing down as of it finishes in April, doesn't it? I think April.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
April time. So we're looking for someone to be the new society chair. So if you think you are chair material, please. There's a very good. If you go onto the website, there's a Matt's posted this advert. There's want of a better word. It tells you basically what's needed, the skills, what's involved with the role, just pretty much everything you need to know. So, obviously we're a very friendly society. You get to work with lots of great people. So yeah, if anyone wants to get involved, please have a read of this and drop Matt or Jerry an email.
Yes, it's on the sort of scrolling. There's 6 news items on the website that kind of scroll in 3 pairs of 2, and it's on the second pair, I think. So have a look at that, and if you do want to get involved, or if you're not part of the society or the part of the committee and want to just join the committee initially as kind of just an observer, and then you can come on as a helper, and then you might find a role that fits your particular skill set. So yeah, we really want people to get involved with us, because the more people that are on the committee, the more we can get done, and the easier it is to spread the workload and for everyone to get involved and contribute. So yeah, please, if you can, if you've got the time to spare, please get involved. That'd be wonderful if you can. Right, so we've got some photo competition results. Do you want to know who won at all, or are you still there?
Yeah, I am. My internet's would you believe it's been all right tonight, and now the internet's just starting to give me a bit of jip. So I apologise.
Okay.
I was listening to you, and then you froze, which obviously was me freezing. So my apologies.
Okay, no worries, no worries. That's fine. It might be my end, but I think
No,
I'm
it's,
okay.
no, it's me. It's me.
Okay.
It just says my internet connection is unstable.
Ah, just
You
your
know,
internet connection, yeah? Not you.
yeah,
You're okay,
well,
aren't you?
I think it said, yeah, you are unstable. Oh,
Oh my
so
goodness, right.
right, we better.
So let's do some results. We're going to go in reverse order as always. So can you see this?
Yep.
Okay. No one knows these results. So this is a wonderful photograph of a hoopoe that I still haven't seen in the UK, taken by Liz Huxley. This was the hoopoe, I'm assuming the one that was over at the Naze
Yep.
for a
I think
few
so.
days.
Yep.
That we tried to go and see, didn't we, during the Big County Birdwatch and
Yes.
failed miserably. Yep, it disappeared. Um, but I love this picture because the sunlight coming through,
Ah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah, lighting's good, blue sky, lovely,
Beautiful.
amazing.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Liz. That finished in fourth place. We had 82 photographs entered this time. So fourth place out of 82 is pretty good going, I think. Hmm. Third place, what do you think, Steve?
Oh, do you know? I have no idea. It was
Okay.
all. They were all really good. Sandling. Oh,
So in third place, we got the Sanderling. Yeah. Um, I love this picture actually. It was my fave of all of them because it's just such a low level angle. Um, and to capture this bird at low level, and you know a quick Sanderling move.
yeah.
You know, they move at a million miles an hour, and you've got the lovely sort of white horses stuff going on in the background, the edge of the sea. So
The
yeah, all
light's good.
lovely.
The light's good on
Yeah,
that.
lights splendid. It's just I love that picture. It's great, but I'd have that on my wall definitely. Love it. So that's third place. To be fair, I think all the final four pictures were all
Mm,
superb. I don't have any of them on the wall. Second place. What do you reckon?
Shrike. Oh, another cracking shot.
What a shot of this.
Again,
That's
like you said, blue sky, lights amazing.
mm. This was taken by Jan Lewis. Sorry, did I mention the last photograph was Robert Kitchen? The Sanderling was taken by Robert Kitchen there down the bottom.
Oh,
So
well done.
the redback shrike taken by Jan Lewis. This was, I think, again at the Naze. Um, Beautiful clear blue sky, light perfect.
Oh, yeah.
You know, exposure perfect. You've got the glint in the bird's eye, which is what you want as well. I've got no idea how he got that close to redback shrike either, because that's a really lovely. I mean, obviously he's got a zoom, he's got a good zoom on his camera, but even so, that's a confiding bird, isn't it?
Oh, it's
Um,
beautiful. Yeah.
because it's just sat there, and what a splendid bird. I love that. And there's also a bit of something on it. I reckon it might have just eaten because there's some red stuff on its beak. Look,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
yeah, maybe that's why it's sat there
yeah.
because it's a bit full.
That's what you'll be like in about half an hour's time.
Well, I hope so, yeah. So that means obviously in first place is the really quite striking picture of a lapwing coming into land. This was
Stunning,
taken by Andy Brown.
stunning.
Um, and again, this is all about the light, isn't it? It's all about the light and the reflection, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
it does. It doesn't have to be a rare bird,
no,
or it's just. I must admit, I like these sorts of shots. I like something a bit more unusual, and this is just. And I say, like you said, the light is stunning.
yeah,
Not a ripple on that water.
exactly. I mean, it's absolutely clear, isn't it? You know, if you turn it sideways, it's almost like one of those ink blot things. It's
Yep,
virtually
yep.
symmetric. Even the mud is not far off from being
No,
symmetrical.
no. Oh, well done, Andy. Well
Yeah,
done.
love that picture. So congratulations, Andy. I'll be in touch, and we'll sort out your prize. You'll get a framed print of the picture and a certificate. We'll get that to you at some point soon. So thank you very much. And thanks again for everyone that entered. It was once again a really good competition. I meant to do this earlier actually, but there's a couple, just kind of honourable mentions really. I should have done this before. I'm so sorry. Completely forgot earlier on. Very, very quickly. Um, just
You
these
didn't.
four
You
pictures
did.
that I liked. So this one made me laugh. Phil Boswell, Kestrel. Just the fact that what the sign says that it's perched on.
Streaks there. No, that's cracking. I like
I
that.
like that. Yeah, I like that. Anyway, this one from Frankie Robertson. So Frankie uses a little bridge camera that obviously bridge cameras, as we know, they're fantastic. They're brilliant. They're a great way of getting long reach with a small camera. They don't focus quite as quickly as a SLR camera. And I think I was with Frankie. This was down at the maze again, wasn't it? On one of the Big County Birdwatch days.
Yeah.
And there was a yellow-browed warbler that was hopping around the bushes, and I couldn't get a picture of it. I had no chance getting a picture of it. And Frankie managed to get a picture of yellow-browed warbler with his bridge camera. So really, really good job there. I think he did really well.
Well done, Frankie. Yeah, superb.
I like this one, Robin Pettit, the Great Crested Grebe. Looks like probably a young bird, I reckon.
Yep, yep. I would say so.
And that's just I love pictures where the bird is just staring straight down the camera lens. I think that always looks fun, especially if you get the focus on the eyes, so the beak goes nice and blurry, the background's nice and blurry, autumnal colours. Yeah, really like that one. And then finally, this one's a bit different, isn't it? We both like this, didn't we? I
Yeah,
think.
do you know what? Again, I mean, this would be my final four. Again, it's common, but the composition is it's outstanding.
I love that. All those sort of dead sunflower heads, I think, aren't they?
It's almost monochrome, like with all the sunflower heads, like you said. Just with this, I mean, I know a pigeon's grey, but yeah, it's just the composition is stunning.
I love that. Just one wood pigeon just sat there going, yeah, take a picture of me. Why not? So
love it.
yeah, brilliant. So I thought I'd just quickly share those. I forgot to do it earlier on, but thanks to everyone who took part. Technically, the winter competition is now up and running because it starts the day after the autumn one finishes. I'll get the stuff up and running on the website as soon as I can over the next week or two and email it all out and everything. But please start taking pictures now. And don't forget, of course, please always bear in mind the welfare of your subject. So don't get too close. Use, as Jan did with the shrike, use your zoom. Don't flush things. Don't scare things off. Be respectful at all times. So yeah, thank you. Right. Yeah. What's next?
Have we got any viewers' pictures?
We have, yes. We've got viewers' pictures. We've got our pictures. Do you want to do your pictures quickly? Rattle through.
Can do. Yeah, I can rattle through these because I know.
I'll rattle through mine. We're gonna kind of speed up the second half. We want to try and wrap this up in the next 15, 20 minutes. So it's a 2-hour show as normal. We've got a couple of bits to go through, not too much more. So we should just about make it if we rattle through.
Right. Sorry, I'm just
Hopefully.
trying. Yeah, I know. All right.
No. I'm just saying because it's me. I normally ramble on. Just mute me or something.
No, so yeah, busy. I've been a bit busy this month doing some leading my swallow birding day trips and tours. So been to Norfolk a couple of times. So quick shot of some lovely golden plover from North Norfolk. This was at Titchwell.
Nice.
Hopefully, if it plays, yeah. We saw cattle egrets at Rutland. Nice little group of cattle egrets flew over Titchwell.
Lovely.
Becoming a very common bird now. So, another few years we won't even bother showing pictures of cattle egrets because they'll be 10 a penny. We had some nice snow buntings on the beach.
No.
So again, as you said, using the zoom lens, managed to get close to these without disturbing them. So that was a nice highlight.
It's nice to get down. I presume you're on your knee there as well. You're quite fairly low down.
Yeah. As low as I can do at my age, mate. So
tell me about it.
I can get down, but I can't get up again. And then I think just over a week ago, I headed down to the Spanish Pyrenees.
Oh.
For a 5-day tour. Well, that ended up being 6 days, but that's another story. So Alpine Centre,
very nice.
Some of the cliffs, related to our Dunnock, but really nice. Not the best shot, but Lammergeier.
Oh, lovely.
We saw these pretty much every day, but yeah, really, really nice to see. Just a slightly non-bird image. A good old hummingbird hawk moth. This was quite nice, which we saw one morning in the sunshine. Bird that everyone wants to see is wall creeper. So we managed to see wall creeper very well. Cracking bird in flight. It's always on the move on the cliff faces. A bit bigger than a sparrow, so quite hard to find sometimes. But we had some really nice views of this. Another non-bird. This is Lang's short-tailed blue. Nice little butterfly that's enjoying November sunshine. Little group of cranes. Lots of cranes winter in northern Spain, so we found these one day.
The cranes in Spain, are they mainly on the plane? Oh, no,
they are mainly on the plane.
Really? That's amazing.
Yeah, good. We had outstanding views of crested tit. I mean, best views I've ever had. These were coming down to about 10 feet away.
That's wonderful.
5 or 6 birds. So yeah, crested tit, and also amazing views of griffon vulture.
God.
We went to a vulture feeding station with hides, and they put out some meat and carcass stuff, and we had about 150 plus griffon vultures, and this is how close you get to them. I mean, at one point there were griffon vultures on the hide roof. They were like right outside the window. Oh, amazing. But the highlight of going to this vulture hide was, apart from seeing lovely, you got these lovely backdrops.
That's a stunning picture. I love that.
Yeah, I just thought, again, it's about composition. I just thought, normally we all go for pictures, middle of the frame, all that stuff. But I thought I'd go for something a bit different. So griffon vulture, and then this golden eagle landed no more than 30, 40 feet away. Just came in, took some food, looked around for a bit, then off. And we never saw it again.
Wow. And again, the lighting on that, look at the colours on that bird. It's beautiful.
It's I think it's one of my birds of the year. If I did a bird of the year, this would be one of my birds of the year. And then we had which we'll talk about in a minute. We had a little trip up to Norfolk. Myself, and John Ward. So we saw shorelarks at Holcombe, and then we went to Clyde, didn't we, afterwards?
Oh, what a cracking picture that is!
And we were watching like just birds flying around, and then these American, Boeing Osprey was flying around. And I thought, would it be nice if I could get that in the same view as the marsh harrier?
Marsh harrier and osprey in one picture.
Marsh harrier and osprey. So which was good. And then pink-footed geese.
Yep, lovely.
Nice. And then last week I went down to Blue House Farm, Essex Wildlife Trust Reserve, and saw some, nice, great selection of birds there. So lots of brink geese there. Corn bunting, good place to see corn bunting. Bit of a rubbish shot of a young male hen harrier. I think this is one of the birds that's been seen at Wallasey. We saw that earlier in the season, didn't we? Big County Birdwatch weekend.
Yes, we did. Yes,
Probably the same bird.
Is that that looks like the second year male, doesn't it? Yeah, with the brown on his back. Yeah,
brown on the back. Yep. So hen harrier, red-breasted merganser on the river crouch.
Nice.
And then short-eared owl. We saw several short-eared owls, which was nice. And that's me done.
Well, to be fair, they were so good, I might as well not do mine, so that saves 5 minutes.
No, you've got some nice pictures.
I'll quickly rattle through mine. So this is just one from actually right at the end or towards the end of last month, but I was quite pleased with this. Just managed to pick out a hooded crow at Holland Haven, which is the first hooded crow that I've seen in Essex. So can you see that? Has it come up?
Yeah, no, good bird, mate. Good bird.
Got it. Cool. So quite a long way off. I was actually scanning the field for cattle egrets because there was some cattle out there. And I thought that magpie looks a bit funny, and then realised it was a hooded crow. Oh, excellent. That's good. And then very quickly, Mark and a few of the people that had volunteered for the farmland bird surveys, we had a 2-3 hour walk at Radness a few days ago, and we got some nice views of red-breasted merganser. And this is a male kind of coming into breeding plumage. So yeah, really, really quite nice. Yeah. And then over to Abberton. This is on the 10th, and this is a female goosander, or common merganser, I think I should be calling it now. I don't know. Just having a bit of a flap. And then it's on the same day, I was up by the church, heard kind of a cronky noise, and I thought that sounds a bit like raven. And then, handily enough, this great big crow went and landed on a pylon, and a normal sized crow landed next to it. So I thought, yeah, that's definitely a raven. So quite pleased to see that. And then, yeah, I'll trip up to Clyde. So as Steve said, John, Steve, and myself went up to Clyde Marshes, and we managed to connect with the long-billed dowitcher that was there. And you picked up a group of black-tailed godwits coming in from quite a distance, didn't you? And all of a sudden, Steve said, "There's something smaller in with them. I think it's the dowitcher." So even before it landed, he was on it. So yeah, absolutely
nice shot. Nice.
Eagle eyes. No, I was pleased with that. Yeah, it came out okay.
Well,
it wasn't that close, was it?
No, it wasn't close. So you done well to get a nice shot of that.
And then we had this amazing. This was on the beach at Holcombe, wasn't it? Oh my goodness!
Again, that was almost bird of the day. This Gannett.
Yeah, this young juvenile gannet, and it was just flying up and down the actual beach, as you can see. So close. It was unbelievable. I think I've got another shot in a second. You picked up, you did your usual trick of raising your bins and said, "Iders going west," I think they were. And this little sort of train of 7 eider and mixture of plumages there. You've got an adult, you've got young male, you've got female. So really nice to get to get a good view of those. And I was quite pleased with the way that picture came out. Looks quite good.
Nice, nice, good shot again.
And then that was the gannet just came and flew back over our heads at one point, didn't it? So close. Yeah, ridiculous.
And again, the light was stunning.
Oh, it was wonderful that day, really was. And then similar to Steve, got the a picture of some of the pink-footed geese.
Hold on a minute, hold on a minute. Go back to that.
Go on.
You Photoshop. You've taken a picture of one goose and Photoshop on the 4.
I've been rumbled. That's it. I've never actually taken a bird picture in my life. All of my pictures have all been Photoshop.
Photoshop. Do you know what? Reminds me of Hilda Ogden's wall. That does.
Now you are showing your year's extra age to me.
I apologise for the younger viewers tonight. If you Google Hilda Ogden ducks, there you go.
My goodness! No, they were, and the light again. Look at that. I mean, the light on those 4 birds, and they do look like they've been copy pasted. I promise people that they are 4 different birds. I promise.
I love that. It's good. Again, composition again.
Yeah. Shorelark again, similar to Steve's. Just nice to see these birds, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And then I'll skip past that. This was at Frinton on the 14th, so not quite such good views of gannet, but just nice to have a adult and a very young bird, first year bird from Frinton. And then while I was there, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna lay down on my padded belly and see if I can get some really low level shots of just some common stuff. So black-headed gull, but
nice.
it just gives you that massively shallow
Field.
depth of field.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, love it.
everything's blurred apart from the gull and the grass that it stood on. Similar sort of effect with a wood pigeon, not quite as low. I think this was a bit closer actually. And then while I was doing it, there was a few jackdaws around, and I turned around and there was this one, and this is one of the sort of Nordic
type jackdaw.
jackdaws.
Yeah. Nice.
With its lovely white collar.
White collar, yeah.
Pleased to see that. And then the last couple of days, Ardley Reservoir, got nice views of redwing, a little flock of redwing, and I managed to get my first field fares of the autumn there as well, which was nice. So about a dozen or so, I think, in the flock of redwing. And then very final couple of pictures.
I like that.
Yeah, these were just flying over the causeway at Abberton Reservoir, just a shoveler, male shoveler in flight. But look at the colours.
Yeah. Beautiful.
What a stunning bird. Absolutely stunning with the light on it. And then I took a picture. There was a great white egret that when I walked up over the parapet at Abberton, this bird was really close and it was just in the water like this. So I took a picture and then it obviously heard my camera click. I haven't got a mirrorless camera, I've got the DSLR. And so it kind of fluffed itself up a bit and gave me quite an evil stare. So I retreated very quickly.
Yeah, well, you don't want to be on the end of that beak, mate. So,
definitely not. No. So that was it. There you go. Right.
Oh, well done.
Okay, so what we're going to do very quickly, should we do, we're going to do no friends for old birds and Randy Sparrows, because we did promise Randy Sparrows. So while we're doing that, or while I'm doing that, do you want to do blue sky quickly?
Yeah, quickly. So, yeah, I'm just going to share screen. So, you probably, hold on, go on, just give me a second, because I've just got to go back to my...
Yeah. And then we're going to finish off. We're going to show the pictures that you guys have all sent in. Thank you very much indeed. And we are going to do a very quick roundup of a key summary of the sightings in the county, and then we're going to play out with the video of all of the photo competition entries as well. So there's just a few more bits to come. Thanks for sticking with us, assuming you are still sticking with us.
We're still there. So yeah, you're probably aware of in the world that we've got a Twitter page for the Birdwatching Society and Facebook and various other social media outlets, but we now have a blue sky. So it's like Twitter used to be in the olden days before it all went a bit stupid. So so if you join Blue Sky, you can follow us at Essex Bird News www.essex.bsky.social. And it's a really good platform to follow for Essex birding. So once you've got an account, you can basically follow feeds. So what I'll do here now, if I search Essex birding, if I can spell birding, will be good, wouldn't it? And then you'll see the tab with feeds. So basically, there's a whole feed that's called Essex birding. So I'm gonna remove it, and then I'm gonna add it. So you can basically pin it to your page. So when we go to our profile now, hold on, no, I'm not. I go to home. Oh, no, I do this, Matt. There you go. If you go to home, the feed is here. So when I click on Essex birding, everything with the Essex birding hashtag appears.
It's automatic, isn't it?
It's automatic. So when we used to have Twitter, both Matt and I did the pages. We have to retweet stuff, and now basically, if you just follow the Essex birding feed, it's all there.
But you've got to remember, anything you post on Blue Sky, if it's to do with Essex birding, just put that hashtag Essex birding at the end.
Yeah.
And then it will automatically go into this feed, and then all you've got to do to see what's going on, follow the feed, as Steve just said. I just want to give a big thanks to David Bradnam. He actually did the macro for this feed. He wrote the feed, didn't he?
Absolutely. Yep.
Did a
So
brilliant
yeah,
job with that.
it's a really good thing. So you can just see, if I scroll down here, there's everything to do with Essex birding. Look, there's kingfishers in Rainham. Steve Entwistle posts about Mersey on here. There's a post from Matt. So Matt and I have both got social Blue Sky accounts. So here's Matt's. If you want to follow Matt, he is esbr-essex.bsky social. So you can give him a follow. In fact, we don't, Essex Birdwatch don't follow you, Matt. So there you go.
How very dare you? Oh my goodness.
Now
That's
we do.
terrible.
And then I'll just quickly switch my account to my swallow birding account. So our swallow birding, we've got a swallow birding account as well, which is at swallowbirding.bsky.social. So it's a good way. It's a good way of connecting Essex birding together.
Definitely. If you go back to the don't
Sorry,
worry.
No, go on.
I was going to say, go back to that Essex birding feed, because one thing you'll notice, if anyone currently uses Twitter, anything you try and follow, I mean, it's a nightmare. The people that you're supposed to be following, it's all mixed up, it's all jumbled, and pardon my language, it's all full of crap.
Well said.
There's so much stuff that turns up in your feed that's nothing to do with what you're trying to follow. So if you scroll down this page, Steve, it's just all Essex birding stuff.
All Essex birding. So Richard Allen, who does a lot of artwork for the society, he's on there now. He's put Essex Essex birding.
You get one or two little things pop in, as you just saw with that football thing.
Football there, I have no idea what that's about. But anyway,
it's virtually nothing. It's all to do with Essex birding.
It's got the word Colchester in it.
There you go. It's picked up on that properly.
Essex. Yeah. But yeah, Mike O'Hanlon, which is the Purple Sandpipers. Andy Field from Mersey.
It's just all birds.
I'll just scroll down. Look, there's Daryl Rhymes, Richard Chew, who's watching tonight.
Hey.
Richard's on Blue Sky as well. So you can have a look at one of Richard's pictures. So nice picture of a green woodpecker. So
hey, excellent.
There's just loads of stuff on here. Daryl Rhymes, Birds Aberton. There's just Yep.
So basically, what we're trying to say is Twitter's Twitter, or X is X, or whatever it's called. And, not going to badmouth X, but I'm really enjoying Blue Sky.
Yep.
Really enjoying Blue Sky.
We'll see how it goes. We may discontinue the Twitter accounts, and I think that's the way it's going to go. But
a lot of people are doing that, aren't they? So yeah, let's wait and see. Right. So should we do viewers picks or sightings? Let's do viewers pick.
Viewers picks, because the sightings,
we'll rattle through those.
We can rattle through those very quickly.
We can. Right. Okay. So viewer content very quickly. I'm going to do the pictures. Can you remind me? I've got one video, Steve, because I'll play that separately.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. So first of all, we've got this picture of. In fact, you'll recognise where this was. Where was this taken?
Oh, do you know what?
When you go to so many places.
Cly.
Cly. Yeah, Cly.
Oh,
Do
dude.
you remember we on the field trip to Cly, we were in the hide and there was this family of swallows and they're quite late. I mean, this
Oh,
was in
absolutely. Yeah.
October.
Yeah, it was up, yeah,
Was it?
September.
No, September. September. It
Yeah,
was late
September.
September, I think. Yeah, late September. But even so, it's still getting a bit late, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And I know they're pretty much good to go. They're obviously just still getting fed by their parents, and why not? But the adults were swooping through the hide with us in it, and these birds were inside the hide. It was quite astonishing to see the speed, the agility, and the fact that there was 15 people in the hide, and they were really not bothered at all to feed their young while we're in there. So, Anne Goddard sent that in. Thank you very much indeed for sending that in, Anne. I love that picture. Then Claire Day. So Claire sent in picture of this colouringed black-tailed godwit, and there's basically an update for this bird. I'm not sure if I've got the PDF saved. Oh my goodness, I'll have a look in a minute. See if I can find the update. But Claire reported this this black-tailed godwit, the colouring bird on the left, and I'll see if I can find the update in a minute once we've done the pictures. Dave Dutton sent in a picture, and this is all about a rehabilitated gull. So he has a license to ring rehabbed gulls, which he's been doing for a few years now. And he said it was a bit of an experiment. He wondered what these gulls, who spend most of their early lives being looked after by humans, would do once they fledge. Would they hang around locally, or would they get the urge to migrate? This particular one was a young lesser blackback gull. And it was looked after by Claire Ward in Dovercourt. She does a fantastic job, sort of looking after these young gulls when they're found injured or found in need of care. And eventually, this bird was ready to be released, so they released it. And it was released in Dovercourt and colour-ringed on the 10th of July. Um, when Claire released it 10 days later, on the 20th of July, she kind of pointed it in the direction of Morocco, Dave says. And then,
Oh,
much to our surprise and delight, after having been seen on the Portuguese coast in October, it's just been spotted in Morocco.
wow.
And you can see the screenshot here, yeah, of the bird in Morocco. And its name is N2UT is the numbers on the ring. So that's obviously nut, I reckon they call that one. So I like that. Thanks for
Oh,
sending that in,
superb.
Dave. Then we've got some pictures from Graham Mee. So we've got a whole collection of birds here, little egrets and Brent geese and widgeon and probably lots of other things in there as well.
It's
And
nice.
that was taken at Lee. I like that one. Thank you.
I like that. It's brilliant.
Got a lovely shot of a pied wagtail, and this was taken in Old Lee. Again, this is from Graham Mee.
There you go. Composition.
I know. And then the final shot, I love this. The final shot from Graham Mee. This was Shoebury MOD Beach.
Wow.
And you got oyster catcher and redshank, but they are just completely divided, aren't they? That's amazing.
That is just stunning. Again, the light is amazing. I love it.
I know, I know. I love that pic. That's really good. Then Jan sent some pictures in. So water rail from Holland Haven. This is from Jan Lewis.
Oh, that's a nice one.
This is really nice. Yeah, you got a tufted duck and a Slavonian grebe, and this was taken on the Hallingfield Causeway. A bird that I still haven't got a picture of, a male bearded tit, and this was in the Hanningfield Reservoir, the permit area. So you have to have a permit to go into certain parts of the reservoir.
Second bird there as well, isn't there?
Sorry?
Second bird there as well.
Well, there is on the right hand side. Goodness, I didn't notice that. There you go. Brilliant. And then this was taken just a few days ago, our trip at Rutland.
Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah.
And showed me this on the back of his camera, and it's come out rather beautifully. A lovely shot of an adult female kingfisher there. Really, really nice. And this bird was evidently quite showy, wasn't it, I think? And then we've got Mike O'Hanlon. So Mike sent a couple of pictures in while we've been talking. So we've got a picture of purple sandpiper from Holland Haven. We've got snow bunting also at Holland Haven. So lovely shots there from Mike. Nice low level shot there. I think we lost you for a second, Steve, but you're back.
You did. Yeah. Sorry.
So nice low level shot of snow bunting from Mike from Holland Haven. Pete Dwyer. So Pete sent in a picture of this rather smart male great spotted woodpecker. I wonder if that's a young male because the red behind its head looks a bit kind of downy. But yeah, really nice bird there. And he had that while he was doing some ringing in North Essex yesterday, in fact.
Probably.
And then finally, Richard Chew has sent in pictures of fox from Langdon. Another foxy picture. Rather nice picture of Goldcrest. Again, all about the composition. Like the leaves there, really nice, and the lighting.
Good.
A common buzzard. So I think he sent in a very quick message. Actually, I've got it here. Here we are. So the buzzard was where are we? Yeah, these are all at Langdon. So the Goldcrest, the buzzard, and the foxes are at Langdon. And then we've got Rainham Marshes. So we've got a rather showy little egret,
Nice.
a grey heron in flight. Oh, a very nice shoveler, male shoveler.
Oh, again, the colours.
Colours, stunning. Great white egret and a couple of lapwing.
Ha! Love
Looks
it.
like the egret's coming into land, and maybe the lapwing are taking off. I'm not sure about that. Looks like
That's
it.
exactly what looks like.
Yeah.
It's just spooked the lapwings. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. And again, the lapwing. Well, there is a lapwing in the background, but the great white egret off again, I guess, after a while. Then this was a heavily cropped, self-found jack snipe with a common snipe for comparison.
I couldn't see the common snipe. It was behind the webcam. So, oh, that's nice.
Yes, really nice shot. So obviously jack snipe on the left here.
Yeah.
I zoom in a bit. And then you've got the common snipe on the right. So clear difference in size, in markings, and obviously bill length as well. So yeah, I love that picture. Thanks, Richard.
Beautiful.
And again, another nice shot of the jack snipe. I think, is that on its own this time? I can't see anything else.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. And then finally, sparrowhawk, female sparrowhawk, probably looking hungrily at the jack snipe, I expect.
Yeah, look at that. That's nice.
Yeah.
Again, the
Very
light.
nice.
The light up until recently, the light has been amazing.
Sorry, just having the cough. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's been fantastic. Right, okay. Do you want to do your sightings? I'm going to quickly search for see if I can find the information about the goal that Claire sent in, and then we'll finish with the video of all the
Yeah.
entries.
I'll just whip through really quickly. So this is November's sightings in no particular order of sights. So the Mucking sort of East Tilbury area has had water pipit earlier in November. It's had ring ouzel early in November, plus Caspian gull, Slavonian grebe, and black-throated diver. And I think there was a puffin there a couple of days ago, which is a really good bird. Wallasey Island's been up to 4 hen harriers, which is what premier site in Essex for raptors. Water pipit being seen. There was Dartford warbler there for a while, and spoonbill back for the winter. I think pretty much South Essex, the best place has been Canvey Island. We've had lots of northerly winds and easterly winds. So Pomerine skewer, it's had 2 leeches petrels, little auk and 8 scorp on the 19th. Black-throated diver, it's had puffin again, several puffins, I think. What else? And 15 white-fronted geese at West Canvey. We spoke about hawfinches earlier. Epping Forest has had up to 8 or 9 birds, 8 over somewhere called Lippett's Hill, wherever that is, no idea, but it's in Epping Forest. And then 1 over Connaught Water. There's also been hawfinches around Chelmsford and Boreham, with 2 over Chelmer Park and 2 in Boreham. Also Braxton Park, there's been up to 3 hawfinches on the 17th of November. So, you know, there's been an influx into the county, so well worth keeping an eye out for these in the next few weeks. What else we've got? Gunners Park, not to be confused with Southend Pier, and has had black redstart, Slavonian grebe, and a grey phalarope on a few days ago. Bowers Marsh, a little bit quiet this month, but it's had spoonbills, probably the highlight. Hanningfield, and we saw Jan's pictures earlier, it's had a couple of Slavonian grebes. Goldhanger has had Slavonian grebe, blackneck grebe, and velvet scoter. So again, really good place in the winter. And then we just finish up with Nazing, because we don't do much from West Essex, but there's been a blackneck grebe at Nazing in the Lee Valley. And last but not least, as we saw in my picture earlier, there's been up to sort of the hen harrier and short-eared owls at Blue House Farm. There you go.
Lovely.
Couldn't do it any quicker than that.
Thanks very much. Well done. Right, very quickly, I did find the the information about the colouring black-tailed godwit. So just very quickly, I think this is the top of the PDF. So 2013, Clyde Marshes. I'm assuming, yeah, it was ringed. Where are we? Ringed 2nd of the 2nd, 2013 in Spain.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then reported a couple of months later in Clyde, and as you can see going down, it appeared in Stutton Mill, just around the corner on the Stour, for the first time in 2015, and then it's pretty much been at Misty Walls or Stutton Mill, very site faithful, obviously. I'm assuming it's disappearing for the summer to breed and then coming back again for the early autumn and for the winter. It was reported in April in Iceland in 2020. Then back to Mistley, March the next year was next reported, and finally finishing off with the sighting from Clare on the 1st of September in Walton Channel at Hanford Water. But the majority of the records have been from Manningtree and the Stour. So these birds are very site faithful. They really are so site faithful, aren't they? It's amazing.
The sightings from Clive, from Pat and Dave Wildman, they used to live in Essex.
Oh, really?
Yeah, many moons ago. Before they
There you
moved
go.
up.
Right. I'm going to really quickly rattle through some sightings. So this is from this month from the sort of northern part of the county. 1st of November, we had ring-ousel at the Naze and Siberian chiffchaff. The chiffy's been there through the month on and off as well. Slavonian grebe at Dovercourt, canvasback at Abberton on the 1st, and again, that's still there at the moment, on and off. 2nd, we had black brant at Mersey Island, and then there were 2 there on the 9th. A couple of water pipits at Dovercourt on the 2nd. Black-throated diver at the Naze also on the 2nd, where there were 3 velvet scoters and 1 velvet scoter at Mersey on the 3rd. Pallas's warbler at the Naze on the 3rd, and a yellow-browed warbler on the same day at Colne Point. We then had the next day black-necked grebe, Mersey and Abberton, and there was also a possible lesser scorp at Abberton as well on the 4th. On to the 5th, black redstart and white-fronted geese at the Naze, and there was another black redstart at Wivenhoe on the 7th. Also on the 7th, hen harrier, ringtail at Copt Hall. I think there's been a male there as well, on and off through the month. Next day on the 8th, 6 common scoter and 3 Caspian gull at Abberton, and the number of common scoter rose from 6 to 7 on the 11th. On the 10th of the month, male hen harrier at Horsey Island and pale-bellied Brent goose at the Naze. And then on the 11th, snow bunting at Holland Haven and yellow-browed warbler at Mersey or at Cudmore Grove. 12th of the 11th, 2 purple sandpipers at Holland Haven, so they're going to be there on and off throughout the winter, and the numbers may well increase. So Holland Haven, always a good place to go if you want to try and see purple sandpiper. And also at Holland Haven on the 17th, there were 8 pink-fronted geese, which is a good record for Essex. They're not the easiest bird to see in Essex. A day later, on the 18th, at the Naze, there was a Lapland bunting. And then on the 19th, snow bunting at the Naze. On the 20th, redneck grebe was seen off Mersey Island. And finally, for me, on the 22nd, 3 Slavonian grebe, 2 snow buntings, and a little auk, all at the Naze. There you go.
Busy month.
Definitely. Right, I think we've pretty much done everything, haven't we? I think
We have. Yep, I think we've got any emails.
nothing missed.
Anyone emailed in?
No emails. Only Jerry and I've covered those. That's good.
We've got a few a few comments.
Go for it.
Richard Chu saying, just commenting on the photographic competition. Amazing last 4. Well done, Andy. And Richard voted for the lapwings. And Andy's just said thanks, Richard, and to everyone else who voted for his picture. So Richard Chu saying thanks. Well done, Andy. Yeah, Nick Lay, he said he was just asking where Blue Sky can be uploaded from, and Paul Everett has kindly replied about it being in the Google Play or Apple Store. And what else have we got? And then, yeah, Nick Lay said also he went looking for the puffin at East Tilbury, but the weather got better of him. So, and Susan Pembroke, fab photos, guys, got to go. Thanks for a great show. So there you go.
Excellent. Right. Okay. So thanks again to everyone who's watched tonight. Thanks for sticking with us. It's been a bit of a bumper one this evening. Apologies. But, you know, well done for your perseverance. And thanks very much. Just a very quick reminders. So online talk on Monday on the 25th on our YouTube channel. And on the 6th, there's another online talk as well. We've got the Zeiss event on Tuesday. If you want to come, drop us an email. EBWS Talks or info.ebws. Just look at the website, it's on there. Ringing demo on the 1st of December. Again, drop us an email if you want to come to that. That's limited numbers. There's a field trip to Abberton self-drive on the 15th of December. And we're doing the Christmas show on, I can't remember. What do we say?
We are doing a Christmas show.
Watch this space. I can't.
Yeah, it'll be on social media and various other things. I've got a funny feeling it's something like the 20th or something like that.
Yeah, it's literally a few days before, and we hope to have, fingers crossed, we'll have Jerry Johnson on to give everyone a festive message, hopefully.
Yep.
And we might have a couple of other surprises, but we don't know yet. Mainly because we really don't know what's going on yet.
No, but we will be back for a Christmas show. Don't worry.
Definitely. Right, let's find this video very quickly. So this is going to be a video of all of the entries into the recent photo competition. The voting was close, so I actually had to do 2 videos with different endings. And I hope in advance that I've got the correct one. So here we go. Can you see a blanky screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Blanky screen.
I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. We'll mute our cameras and stuff and enjoy this. This lasts about 5 minutes. And once again, thanks to everyone who took part and well done. Congratulations to Andy for winning it. See you next month. Thank you.
See you next month. Bye, everybody.